Hello. Um, it come to my mind. It was an action that took place today, and that I wanted to talk to you about, and it have with much about fear and dangerous situations that we can come to. We that try to do God's will. I say try because it's not so easy to know exactly every time what God wants us to do. So I say try. We do our best to do what God tell us to do, to obey. Obey not man, obey not what people are saying, but what God is saying to us. We should obey and try to understand. But I admit that I don't understand everything what God is telling me. Often is it that I understand what God is telling me long after He have talked to me. And sometimes we have to tell God that, please God, I don't understand this, what you are saying to me or what you are showing to me. I need more details and messages for you to understand, for me to understand you. That's we have to say. We must admit that we are not God. And God's thoughts and saying can be far ahead of us. It's maybe he talking about maybe 5-10 minutes, 10 years before us, before it happened. So we had to admit and tell God that we don't understand. We are only human. We live here on earth, not in heaven where they can see everything and hear everything in heaven. But here on earth we are very, very, very limited. So we can't understand everything. And many things have coming to me much later on. It's like an education, but it's said this from my teacher. But the task, that test that we should do is coming much later on. And we have to try to take it in front of us so we remember what was said for a long time ago and write it down and get it right. And I have a man that I have talked to him in a way that I was hoping that I could heal him, but it's very hard when they belong to the devil and pull those people out from hell. It's much better to pull people that is close to hell, to not let them go into hell. That's much easier. It's impossible for us here on earth to pull out people from hell. That is needed of the spirit world to do. We are limited. We can't do that. And we have to let them go if even if we cry and it hurt us to see someone go into hell. But we can't do so much. We have to focus on ourselves. And that is very much work to do, you know. It's very much you're running before yourself, and because you like what you see and hear, and then is it from the devil, and we have to stop. And that's not easy. So you have to remember, you that have problems with your children, your family members or boyfriend or husband, that we are only human, and we can't help them in what we are doing. Mostly is it that we maybe pull ourselves into hell by try to help someone. So you have to leave it and sometimes run away from it, and you have to ask God, to ask heaven to help you. And if they don't answer you and you don't see people get help, that means that it should be like that. And you have to accept it. That is that those people doesn't belong to you. It's added from the devil. Even if they look like you, but they are from the devil, placed into your life to mess up your focus on God. That was a message from, I see a spirit showing me a black-skinned woman that is not a slim type. He's a normal African American, or if you're in Africa, and it's a common way to look like. It's seldom very slim, but there is. But this woman is big in her body, and she is not light-skinned. She's very dark. And that is also beautiful, because that belongs to God's creation. I love you all colors. And then I was talking about this person. I blocked him from Facebook and blocked him from to send me messages. But that I didn't know before yesterday. It's very strange that someone told me that he was sending me a message, but I come to see the picture on his screen. It was saying that I have asked Facebook to not deliver messages for people that I don't know, only from my friends that I have already. So I got the answer why it happened like it did, and I was very thankful to God that he stopped this man to send me messages, because he told me that he have tried to send me messages, and he asked me to take him back again as a friend, and I open up the for him to be my friend again. I took away the block, and then he started to talk to me. And then in the beginning, he say he have changed. He say, I'm not like I was before. But when he was talking to me, and he lived in, and that is very strange for me, but he lived in the city where I grew up. Now it's far away from where I live today. Thank God for that. And this man, he have told me that he have been, and I have seen it when we have talked to each other, that he have been to the mental hospital, inside the mental hospital for a long time, and they only give them medicine. And of course, after a while, the medicine working. It maybe takes 6 weeks for the medicine to start to work inside their brain. And then they let them go out again from the mental hospital. And then the devil is telling them, these sick people, that they don't need to take the medicine anymore because they are healed from the medicine they got in the hospital. And then they start to be bad again in their mental health, no health. And that's what happened to this man. And I gave him one more chance to see if he was okay today. And he looked like he was okay. And the first thing he said to me was, "I love you." And that is not a lie from the devil, because the devil loves people that fight against him. He don't love a person that work for him, work for the devil, because he have already taken them. And the devil is so very have so very boring life, to only check out what people are doing, what the world is doing, and maybe make more fire into people to kill someone. And that's why he say he love us. And that means in that way that he loves to fight with us. That make him excited. That's what he want. For real. He don't want those people that he have lay behind him. And that he doesn't need to fight with. They are already his people. And that is the truth that is in the devil's mind, but is one sort of truth, because he's telling us that he loves to fight with us and that we never give up. So that means a little when he's saying this, but it doesn't means what we call love, what we talking about when we talk about love. This is love for fighting against someone that is very hard to lay down, and he knows that some people give up. So he don't have so many people to fight with. So those few that he can't take, he loved that. He loved the action. He loved the fight that he had with these people. And so that's what he was saying to me, and I didn't care, because I was thinking that he still are mental sick, and in some way tried to snare me or take me. And he have only said that once. It was in the start of our talking. I don't chat with him because he take up too much of my time, and that is what the order from the devil is, to occupy my time. So I can't talk to you, for example. But now it's different, because that make me could do a podcast of what he's talking about. So he have started to be a tool for me instead. And he said today that that he have helped me, and he have, in a spirit way, he have helped me to not be killed, and that he is the one that is with God, and should be with me in that way he's talking about. Then I told him that he say that we should meet each other in his city, and he said today that the demons that he had inside him had told him to not meet me. And I told him the truth. I say to him that I was going up to your city because I had a kitten. I should deliver a kitten to that city, because that family that wanted to bought the kitten, they had a disabled little child that could not be moved, because I lived about 5 hours drive from that city. So I say I can take the kitten with me to the city and travel on the train, I say, and let you get this kitten. And they pay for a hotel room for me. And then they come to my hotel room, and they gave me the money, and they took the kitten with them. And I have seen picture of the kitten in their home together with their little child. So that was right. But it was so far away from them. So today I understand that was the devil that wanted me to travel to that city to meet this crazy, mental sick man, so he should kill me. And so I was there at the hotel, and suddenly it started to come a storm into the city. And after that, they have taken kitten, and I should sleep in the night and then go out to meet this mental sick man. But I knew he was mental sick, so I should meet him out in a public place on a cafe. But it can go very quick to kill. It doesn't matter that I sit in the public place. He can take a knife and kill me and then run away from everything. And so that was not a safe way to do it. But in the night it come a one of the most storm we have had in Sweden. And I have not seen it coming. And that make me telling this man that I can't come to that cafe because it's dangerous and there is no buses. The city buses doesn't work because it's too hard wind. So he understood that because he could see it also. And next day, when it started, next day, I did travel back home as it was so bad weather, and I was thinking I must go home and see so not the windows have break. Something have happened in my home, and I have my cats also to take care of. So I return home next day, and I could I could go with a train, but only halfway, and then it was no electricity for the train. So we had to stop in the city, and I get paid of the train company to stay at a nice hotel. And so I was, and then next day it was electricity again on the train, so I could come home. But nothing have happened in my home. It was okay. But I was aware of this man when I traveled up there to the city close to Stockholm. Because I have been to Israel just before this happened, and I was to Israel, and he wanted me to send him a shofar, those trumpets from Israel, and I did it. And this man, he told me that he had destroyed the shofar because he was worried about a bomb in the package. So he told me that he took a knife and stabbed it many times, crush everything in it. So I knew he was dangerous. But as I was in the city, I was thinking, I can meet him anyway, but outside in the public place. But I know better today that even if you meet someone in a public place, I talk to you now. I talk to you now from a spirit because he touched me, a spirit. And he is saying, only because you are in a public place, it doesn't mean that you are safe. because those things can happen very suddenly. You know, when they have drinking and then they have smoke some drugs, and the brain is so dangerous, because I have been with friends that have been in that state, and they go in a second, they can kill you if they go angry at you, no matter how you are before that. But if they have some drugs, and today is it more dangerous drugs they can have, and need not to mix it, but it can go very quick when they change their mind and kill you. So that's not safe. And then also, in another way, you sit there in a public place, but suddenly everyone is gone. And then you find yourself be alone with that person in that room. No one is there. It can happen, and that is a spirit thing that take place, that the devil is calling people out from the room for you to be killed. So that is not safe. Oh, yeah, I hear often people is saying, no, I'm not going to meet him in a private swearing. I am not going to. I have friends with me when I meet him. But suddenly your friends need to go to the bathroom, and suddenly you sit by yourself with him. So what help do you get? So that was not good for me, and I understand, because I didn't see the storm coming. I have not, I watch the news every day and watch the weather every day, and I didn't see the storm coming. But it come because they didn't want me to meet this mental sick man. So now he back, and he think he is my husband to be, and he have sometimes say that he's coming to my home, and my address where I live, it's on the internet. Everyone can see it. And then he said today that he have been in situation where he could have been killed. And that is, I think it's a lie. It's a lie in the way that they have tried to kill him for no reason. Maybe is it true that the reason why he was close to kill was because he was crazy and going into people with maybe a knife. And so what he's saying is the opposite. And I understand it now. And I am not going to. As soon as he say he have listened to every chapter in my podcast, but it's about 500 chapter, and he started to talk to me for 4 or 5 days. I don't think he have listened to all the chapter, and I don't think he is going to listen at this chapter either, because God is going to close this chapter for him to not could listen at this, because I am saying this to you that I'm going to block him again, but not immediately, because that he understand. If I block him today, then he know it's me. So I wait for some days to do it. But I'm talking about this, that I had to drink a little water. I have taken a shower, and that makes me always be dry in my mouth. And I will want to say that what belong to the devil is this, to isolate people so you don't get any friends. Is isolation, is it for mental sick people also? Because no one wants to be with them, as they are crazy. But that is not the same way to isolate. Isolate is trying to talk to you, whisper in your ear. That's why the devil wants to isolate you. But I could do these things. I could close the door to the devil, and that means that I close the door to all the spirits, and then I don't get any contact with God either. So I don't want to do that. I see that in a television program about those that is coming to houses, and they talk from spirits they hear, and they telling people to close the door, to shout down, they help them to close the door. But then you close the door to the spirit world. So that doesn't work for me to do, because God also isolates a person, because he wants to talk to you by himself, and that you should not have any whispering in your ears or other people to make you change your mind and isolate you to focus on him, God, what he's saying and doing in your life. That's why he isolates. So that is not a good idea to close the door. You need to lower the devil. And I lowered the devil because I told this mental sick man today that what had happened, that God protected me from him. But then he was saying that people try to kill him, but he is not killed because God protect him. But the devil protect his own people. That's why people can be 100 years old, and you are thinking, why doesn't God kill this evil person? Why can they live so long time, long life, and be so evil to everyone that they meet and do evil things? Because the devil have also his own way to have the power over a person's life. It's when he let you go. The devil let you go. And you have done evil things in your whole life. And the devil is seeing that you are the age can't do anything about. So you start to be weak in the way that you're aging, and that many people doesn't listen at you when you are old. And that is my age is also very bad to start a podcast in, but I do it anyway because I work for God, and God doesn't look at age. He can call you to be his worker when you are 80 years old. He have not that limit, but the devil have that limit, that he want people to do many things very fast, running fast, talking fast to people to get them where they want you to go. And when you start to be old, he has so many that he can take to his messenger and slaves. The devil can do that. So he don't care for if you're 90 years old, then you can die. But God can use you until you're 104 years old. And there is no limit of the age. The age limit is the body limit, that there is no body to have the spirit inside it. So he is saying that God protect him. And I have, of course, wondering why he is still alive when we have had this pandemic, and he live in a big city, with much people around him. But it can be that he have been into mental hospital, so he have not been out in the city and be sick of it. And the devil protect him to harm people, but he can't harm me. He have finished. He instead have this mental sick man been a tool for me. So I thank you, the devil, for the tool that you gave me. It was success. So you created success for me. So goodbye, and I don't want you anymore in my life. I have God and heaven, and that's enough for me. I don't need anything. You have nothing to offer me in your kingdom. It's a trash kingdom. God have shown me your kingdom, and that is nothing I want to be in. And the people inside hell came and asked me for the key into this world that I live in, and I told those devils that asked me for the key to the door to go out in the world, and I say that I don't have the key. I don't have the key. I am not God. I don't have the key. I get the message from God, and I give out the message to people that want to listen. But I don't work for the devil, and I don't have any key from hell out in the world. And it's time for you to, all of you that is in the world, to take a key and lock up the door to hell and step in there and close the door and throw away your keys, because you belong there. You don't belong to this world. You have had your time. You have had your fortunes. You have had your party life here. But it's time for you to go home. That I tell the devil. And you know that some of you, because the spirit here that touched me very much, not hard, but it's like a cloud I am in. And he is the one that is talking and saying that to you, that it's time for you to take your own key and open up the hell, because there where you should belong to. And then you throw away, you cast the keys into the fire, so it's burning up, it's melting the keys, so you never is coming back to our world, to earth, because the earth belongs to heaven, and heaven will be here, not only in my home, but in the whole world, around the whole world. So it's time for you to go. There is no future for you. This is the Spirit talking to you. Now he's stronger. Now he's stronger here. And he's showing me fire in his hands. And he say, I threw the fire to them. I return the fire to them and let them burn up in hell, he say. Because this planet will be clean from you, and you have no future. This planet belongs to our future, we that is in heaven. Oh, it went out now from me. Oi. It was very deep inside me. He was talking. I think it's come from down under the heart, in the guts place. So I thank you for listening, and you know what's going on. And this chapter will be belongs to the chapter about fear. You should not fear. God is saying, fear not. You have to wake up and see what's going on and hear what is going on. Because it's easy to be consumed, and I don't say anything against you that is going to hell, because it's very hard. I know it. It's very tricky. So I hope that Jesus that is he have a throne room in hell, that Jesus will meet you that have struggled very hard to be rid of the devil, and you have failed, that the last one to grip is that Jesus is in hell and help you coming out from hell to heaven, because you belong to heaven. You will know it when you are in heaven and is in the court, the heavenly court, and you will see your life, and you know it already, that you're going to cry and want to disappear from everything, and you admit that you have done wrong decisions in your life, and they will help you. It's not many people that is in hell. I tell you, there is a hope for you, and but you don't know where is the limit to stay in hell or come to heaven. That you don't know. So try the best you can to stay in the light. So thank you for listening, and God bless you all.